take out a loan for a building that you want to purchase or what have you. Well, they want to see what revenues have you been bringing in. You know, what expenses are already going out. So they're going to review your bank records. So you want to make sure that all of that is in place up front. And like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot of money to get started. And if you don't have the money yourself, say you don't have the $100, do you have 10 friends that can give you $10? Do you have?
You speaking like a true sales lady right now.
Just, you know, do you have 2 friends who can invest $50 in you? You know, we have to make sure that our inner circle are with people who can invest in us, who can build us up and encourage and push us forward. So who do you have around you? You know, that's when you're going to know who's going to push you and who's going to leave you and get jealous when you start really making the money. You know, so if you don't have it within yourself, well, if you don't have it yourself, find you somebody to invest in you. But make sure you got a solid plan. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Hey, man, can you invest in me so to get this thing started? And people won't mind doing it if they see that you got a goal in mind and you're determined to make it happen.
And that's true. And so one of the things that I'm going to end the show with my thought for the week is, you know, about overcoming objections. And sometimes when you're trying to pursue something, the people closest to you be the main ones that, you know, well, girl, why you doing like that? Well, I would have did it this way. And you have to know and trust within yourself that whatever it is, that innate ability that God is giving you is what God is giving you to succeed. He didn't give it to you for you to fail. And sometimes it's good to have, you know, constructive criticism, but then you have to also weigh it out. Is this constructive criticism or is this somebody hating on me?
Okay. And you have to disregard the haters, you know, because, you know, this is what God has given me. This is what God has gifted me with. And so I'm going to move forward. And then you have to know who your target audience is.
Yes.
You know, when you get ready to do your business, who are you targeting to? You know, it's not family and your immediate friends that's really going to buy into your business. That's not your target market. You have to figure out who am I really out here to help? You know, and that's the audience that you have to go for. It's good to have the support system around you and whatnot, but you may get a lot of no's once you're going out there. But all you need is one yes.
I remember when I first went full time and I was went to go meet with a client, local furniture dealer here, and you know, me just gung-ho, didn't have everything that I need. I'm trying to think if I even had business cards then. But he wanted to see my work. And guess what? I didn't have any work to show him, but I could tell him what I could do. But he took a chance on me. And it helped jumpstart, you know, my first account on my own as a full-time business, even though I worked my business while I was working another job. And I did that for probably 3 years before I decided to step out full time. And, you know, there were people that were saying, you going to do what? Girl, I wouldn't leave that job making $60,000 a year. Girl, I would do this, that, and another. Girl, you got a family you got to think about.
But when God say move, that's when you move. Because you can use that job to invest in your business.
And that's exactly what I did. I was able to purchase the equipment that I needed from that job to get my business started. And then God was so gracious. Let me share a story with you. We got 4 minutes, but I'm sure every episode there's a story. So one day I was praying and I was like, God, what should I do? You know, I'm not happy where I am. I'm not growing. I had a manager who was very jealous of me. And so when I decided to go back to school and get my master's degree, he tried everything he could to block and stop me. Oh, well, you ain't qualified to do nothing else in this company. You're going to be working here until I retire. You going to, you know, and at first I was like, you know what? This man is hating on me. But I thought he was my friend. I thought he was, when I first met him and, you know, up until the time I decided to go back to school, I thought he was the best manager I had ever had. And then when I got ready to go back to school, that's when his true colors came out. So I had clients that was telling me, why are you allowing this company to make money off of you? You could do so much more than what you're doing right now. They're cheating you. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, but I feel like I could do what I'm doing, but I need just a little bit more experience before I'll be confident enough to go out on my own. When you have clients prophesying to you that it's time to go, and you still there saying, well, no, I'm secure. I got a company car. I got, 5 days a week. I'm paid salary, paid vacation. I get bonuses. But that wasn't God's best for me.
You're right. And God will let you know when it's your time.
Mm-hmm.
When you decide to start your business, if you have a full-time job, like you said, use that income on that full-time job to start your business and to start growing it. And in due season, God will pull you off when it's time for you to be pulled off.
Mm-hmm.
And everything will already be set up and in place for you. Because one of the things that I tell people in my book, Living a Life of Abundance, use what God has given you. What is in your hands? What are your God-given talents for you to build your business and to grow it? Because whatever He placed in you, He's going to make it successful.
And that's what I was about to tell you. When I prayed and asked the Lord, God, what should I do? God said, start your business. I said, but God, I want to start a television production company. I don't have a camera. At that time, I didn't have a computer. I didn't have software. I didn't have anything. God said, start with what you know.
When God gives you the vision, He will make provision.
Okay. That's what I was about to tell you. So I said, okay, God, I receive it. I receive the business that you have for me. The next day, the manager that was hating on me, I told him, I said, I was praying and God told me to start my business. And he said, okay, well, what you going to start with? I said, he told me to start with what I know. So I'm going to teach people how to start their television broadcast. I'm going to train churches and whoever else that will listen how to edit, how to start their. And he was like, you ain't going to be able to make no money doing it. That's what he said. Now, let me tell you how great my God is. There was a preacher that had been contacting him for like 3 years, begging him, man, I need you to just come to my church. I will pay you. I got all the equipment. My people just need to know how to work it. And he said, he kept turning the man down. But then he remembered the conversation he had with me. The preacher contacted him again. And he said, you know what? I'm going to give you this lady's number. That's exactly what she said she's about to do. The preacher called. I went up there and I held my first class with his staff. God opened another door. There was another ministry. God opened another door. I was able to get my computer. God opened another door. I was able to get my software. God opened another door. I went back to school, got that money, used that money to be able to purchase my equipment. And God just continually opened doors. So I had everything that I needed. I went and got a job that taught me the rest of the information I thought I needed in order to start my business and be able to do everything that I wanted to do. And when it was time to go, I said, God, I feel like I'm ready, but Lord, I just don't know, God. I had one TV show, 2 TV shows. I had 2 TV shows that I was recording on a weekly basis. Wow. I had a company that had already, when I left producing, that said, you know what, we're going with you. We want you to continue to do our commercials. So I got to the point I couldn't stand being on this job. Again, clients started prophesying to me, you need to leave this company. These are new clients. These are not the same clients. And they said, these people are making money off of you. They're taking advantage of you. You need to leave. You need to start your own thing. They saw that in me the first time I met them. So then I had a client that was a previous client with my other company. And that client was a young man, not even 30 years old. And he wasn't saved. And the Lord began to cause this man to tell me his whole life story, how he got started in business. And I said, okay, God, I see what you're doing, but, Lord, help me. And so this man began to tell me, I make $25,000 a month. Yeah, he was very successful.
Whoa.
Owned multiple car dealerships, multiple real estate properties, owned residential properties, owned a cleaning service business, very successful. And I'm listening. I'm saying, okay, God, what is it that you want to say? Then the man said, you need to go into business. I said, yeah, I do. Well, what's stopping you? I said, well, financing, I need another camera. He said, whatever you need, I'll provide. And I said, okay. I said, well, God, I tell you what, I'm going to have to talk to my husband about it because number one, he was not saved. Number two, he was single. So I'm discerning. And so I go home and I tell my husband, about his testimony and how he said I need to go into business and how he said that he will provide everything that I need. And let me tell you the three things my husband heard. Young man, unsaved, single, wants to give my wife multiple thousands of dollars. Nope, I got you, baby. Don't worry about that. When you ready, I got you. We'll make this happen. But God still opened the door. And here I am, 3 years later, and I'm still doing what God, has called me to do. And has it been easy? Has there been tough times where things were tight? Yes. But guess what? God was still in the middle of your toughness where you're like, okay, God, I don't know how I'm going to make it this week. Lord, I need X amount of dollars. And the next thing you know, your phone rings. You get a text message. You get a message on social media. And clients start coming in to meet that need that you prayed about. And we're out of time. We're so out of time. But guys, I want to encourage you. If there is a business, a desire to start a business that's in you, I want you to move on that. And how do you move on that? Number one, you pray about it. Yes. And you make sure that desire lines up with what God is telling you. Number two, you start to seek out the people that can help you bring that thing to pass. Miss Jonesia said that she can help you with a business plan. Miss Jonesia, give them your contact information in case they have a desire to start a business.
If you have a desire to start a business, you can email me at jonesiaturner.com. That's JONESIA at jonesiaturner.com. Or you can call me at area code 251-273-4243. Because I'm going to piggyback off of what you said, girl. When you're in God's will, He will open up the doors and provide everything that you need. And don't be expecting it to come a certain way. Mm-hmm. Because God works in mysterious ways. He'll put people in your life that you don't even know. Like you said, people coming to prophesy to you.
Mm-hmm. These were unsaved people. Unsaved people that God was using to minister to me.
And I tell anybody, don't judge people because of if we think they're saved or not, because even those that may not know God, God will use them to be a blessing to you. Mm-hmm. And that's why even as Christians, we are to love everybody. We are to respect everybody because the very one that you think shouldn't be helping you because of whatever reason will be the very one that God used to bless you. Mm-hmm. And so we can't be judgmental of other people and whatnot because they may not be of the same faith or they may not be of the same cultural background that we are. But girl, when God get the blessing, He will send you who you need and what you need right on time.
Yes, He will. I got to go back to that story. The job that I was working on that I was telling you I was making $60,000 a year on. I had gotten to the point I couldn't stand going up in that place. I started working from home as much as possible because I was dealing with persecution. Number one, I think I may have been the only Christian on the job that, wasn't drinking. They go out drinking. If they made budget, they would drink. One time they were 125% over budget.
Oh, wow.
They bought $100 bottles of champagne, wine, whatever. I don't drink. For 125 minutes, it was on the company, as many drinks as you can drink. So I wouldn't go. And they had gotten to the point where they were, well, why you don't go out and why you don't do this? And really just coming at me. And so I said, okay. They said, we'll change the venue. We want you to come. We'll change the venue. They went to a coffee house that served alcohol. And they got ready to make a toast. And I grabbed my smoothie. Everybody else had their bottles of wine or champagne. And one of us, well, why you can't pick up a bottle of champagne just like everybody else? I said, look, I don't drink, so, I got my smoothie.
You don't lower your standards.
Exactly.
And what you believe just because you are in that particular setting, even as Christian professionals, we don't have to do everything that everybody else does. If we